what the Treasury said today in an announcement in regards to stimulus checks and what this could mean going forward. Let's get into it and talk about it. Hey everybody, welcome. Thanks for joining me. You know the routine. If you happen to be new or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video because it is our favorite price to do so. That four-letter word, free. Yes, it is totally free to do so. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And let's talk through this. So yes, the Treasury was out today in an announcement in regards to the third stimulus check. Now this is in reference to the $1,400 stimulus check. However, we want to look at all of these numbers and percentages that they gave because it actually could give us a glimpse into the next fourth stimulus check. So let's run through all these numbers and I think you're going to find them to be somewhat interesting. So the Treasury said as of June 3rd, 2021, they have distributed 169 million payments of these $1,400 stimulus checks with a price tag of $395 billion. Now, of these 169 million payments that have gone out, 52% of them went out to households with an annual income under $50,000. In addition, there's an additional 10% of the payments that went out to non-filers or non-filing households that are traditionally a very low income because typically they don't need to file a tax return because their income is low enough that they don't need to. So here's what's interesting. That encompasses 62%, right? The 52% that have an annual household income under $50,000 plus the 10% of non-filers. So if we add all those up, it comes up to 62% of the total amount of payments that went out to everybody basically under $50,000 of annual income, right? So here's what we did. I ran the calculations and I think here's where it's going to get interesting. So I took 169 million multiplied by 0.62, which would give us 62% of the total number of payments that went out. It comes up to just under 105 million people, right? So we're going to round it up to 105, even though it's like 104,777,000, something like that. So we're going to round it up to 105 million people that are encompassed in this 62% of the payments that went out to those people under $50,000 of annual income. Now, here's what's interesting about that. If we were to take 105 million people, right, 105 million, and we multiply it by $2,000, the reason I've come up with $2,000 is because that's what we've been calling for right here on the channel, is a one-time $2,000 stimulus check actually for those people earning under $40,000 of annual income. In this example, we're actually using people with an annual income under $50,000. So realistically, if we shaved off that extra $10,000 of income, we'd actually lower the number even more than the 105 million people. But let's just use 105 because that's the calculation we're using in this video. So we actually know the number is actually going to be less than what we're actually going to come up with right here in this example. However, if we take 105 million multiplied by $2,000, a $2,000 stimulus check, we would come up to a total cost of a $2,000 stimulus check for those people earning under $50,000 of, yes, only $210 billion. That's it. That is all it would really cost, according to these calculations, to send out a $2,000 stimulus check to those individuals with an annual income under $50,000, right? Wow, that is not very much money considering we are talking about trillions upon trillions of dollars of spending in these next couple packages. Just to put it into perspective, the infrastructure package alone, the bipartisan infrastructure package that they're talking about right now, has a price tag of $1.2 trillion over 8 years. And Bernie Sanders is looking at $6 trillion in the next package, the American Families Plan and the American Jobs Plan, $6 trillion. So as you can see, a one-time $2,000 stimulus check with a price tag of only $210 billion is a teeny tiny mini fraction of the total price tag of all of these packages, right? $210 billion is basically nothing. In fact, there's a couple people out there in the world right now who could essentially write a check for $210 billion. Yes. Now, I know that a lot of their wealth is wrapped up in stocks and things like this, but essentially, there are people out there with a net worth of about $200 billion right now. So they could essentially write a check for this. So the whole point of this is, the Treasury has come out and said that all of these people, right, basically 62% of the people that receive the payments of these $1,400 payments back, starting in basically March 17th is when they started going out through basically early June when they've ran these numbers through, 62% of those people have an annual income under $50,000. And this includes, yes, the non-filers. And guess who is also included in non-filers? Yup, Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, VA, and RRB beneficiaries, because by default, most of those people are also non-filers, right? Because they receive their benefits, and most of those beneficiaries do not file a tax return simply because their benefit is under the threshold that would make you file a tax return. So therefore, yeah, you would be included in that, in those percentages. So wow, I mean seriously, that's all it would take. $210 billion. Actually, let's be real, it'd be less than that. Because remember, in this example, we're using $50,000 of annual income. If we actually shaved it down to $40,000 of annual income, that number would even be less. The $210 billion that would take to send out a $2,000 stimulus check, it'd probably be less than $200 billion. Wow. Seriously, that is nothing. So the fact that they're, dragging their feet on a fourth stimulus check, especially focused on lower income individuals, is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, seriously, it would cost almost nothing. And I know a lot of people say, well, who's paying for this? Well, I mean, realistically, it doesn't really matter who would pay for it because it's virtually no money. I mean, $200 billion is basically nothing in the grand scheme of things when we're talking about all these other multi-trillion-dollar packages. $200 billion to send out a $2,000 survival check or $2,000 relief payment or $2,000 whatever you want to call it check to all these people who really need it right now would basically be absolutely nothing, right? And it would mean the world to all these people who actually need it, who happen to be a lot of my subscribers right here on the channel, who are probably falling within this category of under $50,000 of annual income. So wow, as I ran the numbers on this and I actually ran all the calculations, it's like, it really wouldn't cost that much money at all. Now that we see all these calculations and we see these numbers of people who actually fall into these categories and the percentages as released by the Treasury today in this announcement. So, wow. I guess this just solidifies even further why we need to continue to push for a fourth stimulus check and why we need to make sure that it is $2,000, especially focused on the lowest income individuals out there. As I've said so many other times in my other videos, the higher income people, they don't need a stimulus check right now. Honestly, the reports have come out, the studies have come out, everything is pointing toward higher income people. Yeah, they don't need it, right? So the thresholds that we had on this last round of stimulus checks, the $1,400, was $75,000 for an individual or $150,000 as a married couple filing jointly as their adjusted gross income. Yeah, those people are honestly, they don't need it. We need to shave these percentage or these income thresholds way down. Like I said, $40,000 would really do it. That would really focus it on all the people who actually need that fourth stimulus check right now. So wow. Anyway, I wanted to bring you these numbers because this is what was released by the Treasury today, and I thought you might kind of find it kind of a little bit interesting, especially as we run the calculations and find out that, oh wow, yeah, it really wouldn't cost that much money to send everybody who really needs it one more survival check of $2,000, right? Remember back in the day, not that long ago, everybody was calling these survival checks because that's basically what they are, right? It is a $2,000 check so that people can survive for a little bit longer. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video. I will continue to keep you updated with everything going on that's released out of the IRS, the Treasury, Social Security, stimulus checks, basically everything else going on out there right now. But thank you so much for your support. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, share the videos with your friends, family, social media, and of course, go back and check out any of the other 1,200 videos right here on the channel. And thank you so much. You're amazing. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will continue doing everything I possibly can to get a fourth stimulus check for everybody in this community, right? The lower income individuals. Thanks again. You're awesome. I'll catch you later. Stay safe out there, and I will see you in the next video. See ya.